Ladies and gentlemen, you won't believe the laws that exist in some part of the world, from no sledding on Sundays to no singing out of tune. Be ready to see the top 8 weirdest laws of the world. Number 1. No sledding on Sundays, Pennsylvania, USA. This law, which prohibits sledding on Sundays in Pennsylvania, USA, may seem strange to some, but it has roots in the state's blue laws. Blue laws were originally enacted to regulate Sunday activities and promote religious observance, and they often limited activities such as shopping, sports, and entertainment on Sundays. While many blue laws have been struck down or modified over time, some, like the ban on sledding on Sundays, remain in effect in certain areas. The law prohibits sledding on Sundays as a way to enforce the traditional values of Sunday as a day of rest and worship, although the law is not widely enforced. Nevertheless, it serves as a reminder of Pennsylvania's historical commitment to blue laws and the regulation of Sunday activities. Number 2. No dancing in bars, North Carolina, USA. This law, which prohibits dancing in bars in North Carolina, USA, is another example of the state's blue laws. The law requires that bars and taverns obtain a special permit to allow dancing, and many establishments choose not to do so. The law is not widely enforced, but it serves as a reminder of North Carolina's conservative history and its commitment to regulating certain types of entertainment. It is believed that the law was originally enacted to promote sobriety and to limit the spread of vice, but it has been criticized for limiting freedom of expression and for being outdated in the modern era. Nevertheless, some establishments continue to operate under the restrictions imposed by the law, and it remains in effect to this day. Number 3. No feeding pigeons, Venice, Italy. This law, which prohibits feeding pigeons in Venice, Italy, is a measure aimed at controlling the city's pigeon population. Venice is known for its picturesque canals, historic buildings, and bustling squares, but it is also known for its large number of pigeons, which can be seen flocking around tourists and in public spaces. The city has taken steps to regulate the pigeon population, including the ban on feeding pigeons. The law, which is enforced by local authorities, is aimed at reducing the number of pigeons in the city, as well as limiting the damage they cause to the city's monuments and buildings. The law has been met with some criticism, with some arguing that it is cruel to the pigeons, but others believe it is necessary to preserve the beauty and integrity of the city. Regardless, the law remains in effect, and visitors to Venice are encouraged to avoid feeding the pigeons. Number 4. No wearing high heels, Greece. This law, which prohibits wearing high heels in Greece, is aimed at preserving the country's ancient historical sites and monuments. Greece is home to some of the world's most iconic and well-preserved ancient sites, including the Acropolis in Athens and the Temple of Olympian Zeus. In an effort to protect these sites from damage, the Greek government has imposed a ban on wearing high heels in certain areas, including archaeological sites and monuments. The ban is aimed at preventing damage to the fragile ancient structures, as well as preserving the integrity of the historical sites for future generations. The law is widely enforced, and visitors to Greece are encouraged to respect the ban and wear appropriate footwear when visiting ancient sites and monuments. Despite some criticism, the law remains in effect, and it is seen as a necessary measure to protect Greece's rich cultural heritage. Number 5. No chewing gum, Singapore. This law, which prohibits the import, sale, and distribution of chewing gum in Singapore, is part of the city-state's strict regulations aimed at maintaining a clean and orderly society. The law, which was introduced in 2004, is designed to reduce litter and chewing gum-related nuisances such as sticking gum to public property and sidewalks. The ban applies to all forms of chewing gum, including gum containing therapeutic ingredients, and there are severe penalties for violating the law, including fines and imprisonment. The law has been met with both criticism and praise, with some arguing that it infringes on personal freedom and is an excessive restriction, while others argue that it is necessary to maintain the cleanliness and order of the city-state. Regardless of public opinion, the law remains in effect, and visitors to Singapore are expected to comply with the ban on chewing gum. Number 6. No haunting, Alabama, USA. This law, which prohibits haunting in Alabama, USA, is a curious example of state regulations. The law makes it illegal for anyone to participate in a public ghost walk, haunted house, or other similar event that is meant to scare people. The law, which is part of the state's broader restrictions on public displays of violence or gore, is aimed at limiting the spread of fear and panic. The law has been criticized for being outdated and for infringing on freedom of expression, but it remains in effect and is enforced by local authorities. While it is not commonly enforced, the law serves as a reminder of the state's conservative history and its commitment to regulating certain types of entertainment. Visitors to Alabama are encouraged to be aware of the law and to avoid participating in events that could be considered haunting. Number 7. No flushing the toilet after 10 p.m. Switzerland. This law, which prohibits flushing the toilet after 10 p.m. in Switzerland, is a measure aimed at conserving water and reducing noise pollution. The law applies to residents of multi-unit buildings and is designed to minimize noise disturbances to neighbors, as well as to conserve water resources. The law is widely enforced, and those who violate it face fines and other penalties. Despite some criticism, the law is widely supported in Switzerland, where environmental conservation and quality of life are highly valued. The law is seen as an effective way to ensure that residents can live in peace and quiet, while also conserving resources and protecting the environment. Visitors to Switzerland are encouraged to be aware of the law and to respect the local regulations on flushing toilets. Number 8. No singing out of tune, Germany. This law, which prohibits singing out of tune in Germany, is a measure aimed at preserving the quality of musical performance in the country. The law applies to public performances, including singing in bars, clubs, and other similar venues. The law is part of Germany's broader cultural regulations, which are designed to promote excellence and artistic standards in all forms of cultural expression. The law is widely respected, and those who violate it face fines and other penalties. Despite some criticism, the law is widely supported in Germany, where the quality of musical performance is highly valued. The law is seen as an effective way to ensure that public performances are of high quality, and that the country's musical heritage is preserved for future generations. Visitors to Germany are encouraged to be aware of the law and to respect the local regulations on singing out of tune. So there you have it, the top 8 laws from around the world, from singing out of tune in Germany, to no dancing in bars, USA. These laws demonstrate the power of cultural regulation to shape behavior and promote social value. Do you agree with these laws or not? We must admit it is fascinating how laws can be different in some parts of the world. And you like the content, like this video and subscribe. Thank you for watching.